see that it's steadily gone up. And,
Commissioner Trujillo, to your point, my number one goal is a clean audit. My number two goal is to have 6 months in reserve, if not a year. If the county can do it, I know they have, they're kind of like the benchmark, but I see no reason we couldn't have it at some point to build up that reserve to at least 6 months, because we all remember how COVID was and how hard it hit the city's budget and finances.
Appreciate
well,
that.
well, those are good goals. My goal is to have accurate accounting records and timely information to the board so that they can see what's going on. You need to know, you need to know on a monthly basis where you stand in your cash in each of the funds, how you're going along, what have you received, what have you spent, and where you're, and that needs to be timely information so that you can react quickly if you have to. You can't be like you can't be like it just happened, 6 or 7 months behind in your accounting, poor accounting records. It's just a disaster.
And that's one thing, Ed, I'd like to see, if there becomes a trend and you see the trend and it's going downwards, with your conversation with the city manager, reporting that to us as well, that is always beneficial, because if you start seeing a trend, we'd like to know, we definitely like to know, because I'd like to make changes before it gets too late to where, I just don't want no surprises, put it that way. That's
We can always make budget adjustments.
Yeah.
Right, you can adjust the budget as necessary, but it doesn't do any good to adjust the budget 2 months after the fiscal year.
Correct.
We're just going through the hoops, and we want to be proactive in what we do.
That's why we're moving forward.
Right. Any other questions for resolution 70?
Okay, hearing none, thank you, sir. Shannon?
Commissioner White?
Yes.
Commissioner Rea?
Yes.
Commissioner Trujillo?
Yes.
Commissioner Gandy?
Yes.
Mayor Roberts?
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion for resolution 2025-071, discussion and approval of fiscal year 26 final budget.
Second.
Okay, motion second. Consideration of this resolution. Mr. Fierro.
Okay, so this budget, when we built the budget in May, well, let me say that this exact budget you've already approved in May. There has been no changes to it. And when the budget was created, it assumed that there was no cash available to start the budget. Okay, so the way it works in New Mexico is you take your beginning cash, your anticipated revenues, your anticipated expenses, and your anticipated cash at the end of the fiscal year. And they have, in the general fund, they have that rule that you need to have 1/12 of your budget set aside. And that number, it's gotta be a positive number at the end of the day. Okay, so when we built this budget, we're assuming there's no available cash at the beginning of the year. And the budget, the revenues, whatever they are, 12 million in the general fund. Expenditures, 12 million. No cash at the end of the year. That's the way the budget was built. So, for example, in the general fund, we budgeted for revenues. The revenues were budgeted at $11,760,801 on page 2 of 29. So that's what was budgeted or anticipated, that we said that the budget, the revenues were going to come in at. If as Mr. Miranda says, that the gross receipts are increasing, then the city should should receive revenues in excess of that in the general fund. That should be easy to obtain. And then the expenditures are limited to just that amount of money. If that occurs and you don't spend more than that, you're gonna end up at least with $12 million, because that's what you have to begin with. Okay, but I anticipate that you'll have more money because you're gonna get more money revenue. So that's basically the way the budget was built. Now, it's imperative that budget adjustments occur throughout the fiscal year, and that the accounting records are kept current.
Okay, Mr. Friel, right there, and I know we had a discussion earlier and this question, on page 2, where you just stated the 11,760,000 and some change. Okay, what adds to that, what revenue streams would create that estimated revenue?
Well, you'd have to go back on to page 1.
Well, I'm kind of relying on your knowledge more than,
Okay, so.
but go ahead, yes, sir, go ahead.
Just generally speaking, the taxes from local effort, which includes this sales tax, franchise tax, property taxes, that's 5 million. And then additional gross receipts tax of 4.7 million. And then you have various things like for liquor license and just small amounts there. Interest income, 600,000, that's a fair number, because right now the sweep account is about 50,000, 52,000 a month. So that's 600,000 easily. Joint power agreements, those would be from the county, any money you receive from county or other municipal or other funding sources such as those. I think the budget, it's very conservative. It's not saying, well, we're anticipating we're gonna get $20 million in gross receipts. That's not realistic. The numbers there are very realistic.
And when we sat down earlier with the mayor, we added two numbers together. It was 4.7, and what was the other figure?
It was the gross receipts, it was 4.4 and 4.7.
No, yeah, 4.75.
And that's our expected budgeted revenue from GRT.
Right. Then you divided it by 12,
Right. So,
and it comes out to what, 764 or something?
and I know Ed and the mayor cringe when I do this, but I know, and GRTs are less than half our budget, right? Our real budget's 36 million. GRT's 12, 13, 14 million. But I know, and I do it too, certain commissioners like to kind of benchmark that part of the budget off of the monthly GRT. So what Ed is saying is, we're building fiscal year 26 budget off of GRT's averaging $764,000 a month.
Right.
If you remember, last year we budgeted, I think at 825 or 850. So as Ed said, we're being more fiscally conservative. Even though GRTs are going up, we're not betting that it's gonna continue.
Well, I think, just for clarity, I also believe that our interest income has highly contributed to this, that we probably didn't have a couple of years ago.
That's a good point.
So that's reduced it.
Yes, sir.
I don't wanna say that we aren't doing a good job, but there's some other avenues that we are receiving now that we weren't a couple of years ago, so.
Yes, sir.
But that's still good. We're at 763 versus 820 last year.
With higher, and our trailing 12-month GRT average is 949 over the last, and that includes that one-time hit in January, which really, it would be a lot higher, but that clawback, so. Not trying to paint an over rosy picture, but I know, the way I look at it too is, you know, what GRT monthly is that budget built on?
Further questions? Have none. All right. Thank you, Mr. Field.
Okay.
Shannon?
Mayor Roberts,
Yes.
Commissioner White,
Yes.
Commissioner Bowe,
Yes.
Commissioner Gandy,
Yes.
Commissioner Trujillo.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion for resolution 2025-072. Variance for carport setback at 913 West Tyler Avenue.
Second.
Okay. We have a motion and second consideration of this resolution. Yes, ma'am?
So resolution 72 is for the carport at 913 West Tyler. At the Planning and Zoning Commission, they approved no front setback and a side yard setback of 3 foot 7 inches instead of 5 feet. They also approved the side, there's a 1 foot 5 inch encroachment on the side yard. So they approved all those things, and Mr. Ikuhara has received a lot of support from neighbors. We have that in the slides as well. And these are the engineered plans that he has sent in. We are in the process of actually permitting or we've begun the process for permitting the carport, given that it's approved tonight, because the P&Z board asked that he does receive the state permit from CID.
So it's already built,
Yes.
but needs a variance for how they built it.
Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
Well, you know where I'm at.
Well,
It said variance.
Okay,
I'm getting tired of these
for a
guys.
little bit of
Forgiveness.
clarity here, and, you, sir, is it yours? I'm sorry. Okay. I'm gonna ask a couple questions, and I'm not picking on you or whatever, but, all right, for you, he had the state plans, or he now has the state permit and plans after he built it?
So it was built without applying to the state. There's,
Or the city, obviously,
or the city, yeah.
okay?
So the request has been made that he does go through the process with the state
Mhm.
and apply through us as well. But we haven't gotten too far with that process because we are waiting to see if it is approved.
From here?
Mhm.
Okay, all right. I know your intention wasn't to build it out of specs or anything like that, or whatever, okay. You know, it's just, it's difficult for the commission to just continually grant. It's not after something's been built. We appreciate that at least you've got plans and drawings and everything else. Just, I know that, you know, this continues to be a problem. We're hoping to alleviate this problem, and there may be a point that one of these days, you know, a person that comes before us may have to take it down. So, I just wanna, I wanna let you know that more than likely everything's gonna be approved. But before you do something else, please, come to our department. We have, planning and zoning is here for a reason. It's not to be a pain in anybody's butt. It's just, to make sure it meets everything and we don't have these uncomfortable discussions, on a Monday night, you know. Other than that, we appreciate all the diligence that you put forth, and like I said, I just wanna ask you, anything in the future, please come and talk to them. They will give you the skinny on what you can and can't do.
Yes, sir. I have a question.
Oh, we have a question.
So house number 3 on my drawing, I'm assuming they have a carport on theirs also?
Are you discussing, yeah, the carport's already.
So the picture I have says a 3 on it, but the picture to the right, his house is in the center. The picture to the right, the white roof looking thing, L-shaped looking right there, that's a carport also, I would assume? Because it's built all the way up to the property line?
Mr. O'Hara,
Yeah, that's a house and carport attached.
yeah,
It's attached.
I believe that's, is that not the neighbor's house?
Yes.
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 Yes. So to the left, that red box is where the carport is now. And then on the right, that front left.
Yeah,
are
I
the
didn't, I've
entrances.
already made my decision, but I just was aggravated about the other one, so,
Got
yeah.
it, okay.
Yeah, so, no, just,
Thank you for clarifying.
yeah.
That's probably next meeting.
Exactly.
That's exactly what I'm talking about, yeah. So when your neighbor pulls his down, remember, I'm the guy voting no on both of them.
All right.
There's that.
Any further questions? I hear none. Shannon?
Commissioner Trujillo,
Yes.
Mayor Roberts,
Yes.
Commissioner White,
No.
Commissioner Gandy,
You know, I stand in the no all the time, so yes, no.
Okay, wait a minute.
No.
Okay, I think you
Yes,
confused
no.
everybody.
Yes, my answer
You
is
can't
still
say
no.
maybe.
Yeah, yes, no. My answer is still no.
Commissioner Bolt,
Yes.
All right. Thank you, sir. You've been approved.
All right, I just confused the piss out of everybody.
There's the photo.
Let me try a little better here.
Yes, no.
I wonder sometimes if we
Will
ought
you
to
marry me? Yes, no.
have some sort of, advertise some sort of, schooling on that for, just for the record stating that we did, the city did have a,
Just a policy on Facebook a couple of times.
you know, like, or maybe code enforcement can put in on a class and just for the record to say that we did inform the public through a conference or something like that. We did have a conference that way. We could say we did that extra,
Kinda like a call before you
Due
dig.
diligence.
yeah, call before you dig.
Yes.
Maybe if we had a class on it and
Well, you know what it's
invited the
gonna take
community.
is tearing one down.
Yeah.
That's what it's gonna take.
Yeah.
There has been a lot of requests from the community for more education on these matters.
We can start by putting it in the water bill. We can put a flyer in the water bill in English and Spanish.
There's
Guess you could do it once every 6 months.
Yeah, most of
Figure out a time, you know, once in the spring when everybody's gung ho, once in the fall, when, you know, just as a reminder.
But I
And
think
then-
it'd make me feel better saying no, because we've done more than enough, you know, we've educated the community, and if they continue to do this, at one point, we go, like Mayor said, we're gonna have to start saying no. I'm gonna have to start saying no. I mean, you know, I understand the hail, understand the people wanting to do different things, but at one point, you know, we've got to end the variances off these
But if
carports.
we educated them, it would give us a better leg to stand on when we
Yeah,
enforce it.
exactly. We've
That's
given
fair.
that opportunity to.
That's fair.
What the community reports experiencing is not being able to receive education from the city, but additionally not being able to receive very much education from the state. It's sort of take the class, pay for it, travel out here, or here's a link, look into it yourself. And there are various reasons that complicates it for them, but
Yes, sir.
The variance that he's asking for was because of what? Didn't meet the requirements or didn't meet the specs, so.
He built a
Construction?
carport with no permit.
And
And
then,
then he didn't do the guidelines he would have needed to if he had gotten a permit. They would have
An
let him know where he
engineering,
could build.
engineering permit. She
So
didn't
it's
have
all
an
about the
engineer.
engineering plan, is what you're telling me.
No,
Yeah.
it's because he didn't get a permit to start with.
well,
But-
it's about the plans,
Yeah.
the engineer plans, it's about the permit in the front, and then it's about the property line and the setbacks from there. So there's multiple different reasons here. It wasn't like he had the permits, he had the plans, and he made it too big. He didn't know where the property line was at. It was, he had multiple steps that he missed.
An original permit would have given him the,
Yeah.
you can build here license.
The guidelines.
Yeah.
The city permit, the evaluation of the city permit, which would also be inclusive of what the state's permit's gonna be, would have informed him he cannot build it that way. Cannot build it to these specifications as far as size, or the engineering wasn't adequate or wasn't stamped by a structural engineer or whatever it was, and he couldn't build it because of that. So that's the whole process is if I'm gonna use Crystal for right now. If she hasn't received notification of some sort, then she can give no advice. If they come to her and they say, I would like to build a carport, then she will advise them, can you, if you can, and you can put it on your property to meet city guidelines, then these are the steps you have to take. And then she'll guide them through it, so.
So the structural steel can be of your choice, or does the city have to approve that also?
Okay, no, the city does not approve the structural at all. She's not qualified. I can tell you one thing, that won't be, basically pipe will not be approved by the state. So, you know, it's not gonna be,
mean,
with
you can't put a
materials
microwave
laying
plant.
around on your property probably. You're gonna have to buy, tubing and things like that.
Square tubes.
But
Square
like,
tubing,
we
yeah.
had one the other day that was the right size, but they went over a double car driveway and there was nothing down the middle. And they didn't, you know, put enough support
Structural
there.
support, yes.
So they
The key
got
thing
failed
is,
on
if you
that.
get a structural engineer to design it,
Yes.
you have a strong possibility of getting it done.
Yeah, because he's gonna follow the guidelines, because he's gonna do his homework
And that's part of the
Right.
state.
before he puts that
specs.
stamp on there. And so, that's why, Patrick.
I think what's important, the variance that was
Yes.
granted is just for the setbacks. And what it was requested by city personnel is that approve the variance, but also require a permit be approved. And so it's very likely that the state might look at it and not approve the building permit based on the structure or some other requirements that they have.
Cause I wanna build me a carport,
Yeah.
Okay,
No,
and I understand.
don't get a variance.
But, you know, what I'm trying to do is, like, just to get a permit like that, costs more, almost more than the actual cost of putting it together. And I can't, you know, in my head, I can't put that.
And in all fairness, where I didn't live here as growing into my adulthood. So everybody that grew up in New Mexico understands that you have to have all that. Coming and was living in Dallas, and unless I was in a homeowners association, if I owned my property and it was my property, and I didn't mess with any of I didn't have to go and get all of that stuff with the structural engineers and all of that stuff. That is not something that, when we say educate the public, I'm saying somebody who isn't from, well, I am grown up, but I'm not officially as a grown up from here. I wouldn't have known to do all that stuff. I'd have done exactly what he did. I'd have just gone and started it and just go and start putting it up.
Well, the beginning, it was just to keep it out of certain neighborhoods, and that's where it all started. Then everybody kept adding to the pie, and now we're at this point where you have to have all this other stuff. But in the beginning, it was just, I wanna say, on the west, south side
You
of
know,
town,
this is the
that
problem
area is
that I
where
have.
it
I
started
mean,
originating from.
You know, the problem that I've got, you know, I'm gonna spend $3,500 for this print, and there's nothing that says that I get a reimbursement. If, you know, if somebody was to say no, or two, you know, it just, if somebody says no, well, I'm out the 3,500. So is that fair to your constituent?
But I think you're arguing your case to Crystal with a permit as opposed to the commission.
I mean, my thing is, you know, you're spending $3,500, and they have the right to tell you no.
No, that's not
I
true.
understand.
Let's get that,
That
no.
would be the state first.
Okay, all right, let's go back to the steps. Okay, the first thing, and this is I'm not doing this for you, David, I'm doing this for education.
Yes.
The first thing that needs to happen is, I'm gonna use you as the example. Go see Crystal and tell her, I'm thinking of building a carport on my house, or around mine. Okay, she will pull it up and she says, okay, you have the required area
The setback.
and the setbacks. You can put one that will meet the city ordinances. You have enough room, you can meet the setbacks and all of that. So now, she'll give you those requirements and say, okay, now, get your plans, okay? So she can stop you from spending $3,500 if you don't have if you don't meet any of the requirements from the city. All right, if you go ahead and do that and you construct it to those plans, to the city's setbacks.
To approve the plans,
Do what?
then the state guy has
Well,
to-
the state, I'm just assuming, okay, once you get the plans, you send it to the state
Then
okay.
they have to approve your plans
Right.
before you can ever
before
start
you
your
can
work.
ever start on it. So then it comes back and she says, okay, I've got it, I've got your approval, now you can start constructing. And whoever you get to construct it, if it's yourself, then you have to, that's gonna be part of your permit, is that you're gonna be a homeowner constructor, and you have to follow the same guidelines that everybody else does. Alright, you build it, it meets all the specifications, she walks out, she looks at it and says, you're good to go, you never come here, there's no reason. It's if you build it a little too big, you can't read a tape measure that day, or
You
you,
build it all the way out to the street.
right, or you attach it to something that shouldn't be attached to, or whatever. Basically, this is not just about carports, it's pretty much about everything in the city. If you're gonna do something to your property in the city, the best thing to do is go to city, planning and zoning and say, this is what I wanna do, and she'll say, okay, I mean, she may say that that's a piece of cake, here's how you do it, whatever. And she may say, that's gonna be really difficult. And, that's what we're trying to do is, we're trying to tell people, please come to us first. We're not here to stop it. We're just here to make sure it meets our ordinances.
So, just so you know, where the variance would come in is, let's just say you own a very square piece of property right now. But let's just say hypothetically that for whatever reason, from the northeast corner to the southwest corner of your property, you have this triangle, and you want that carport on the southwest side of the property. But it doesn't meet the setbacks, but because of the way the property sits in there, a variance would make sense. But that's where the variance comes in, because you can't get certain, because of the property alignment or shape or different things like that. The variance has to come in there, because we're like, you're not gonna put anything else in that piece of property right there that would make any sense, so a variance would come in right there. So, other than that, no. If you have a square piece of property like you have, you should be able to meet all the setbacks.
It's kinda like
And-
the lady behind you where there's all those, the sirens and all that stuff on her property, so she had to set a different way. And we had to do a variance for her because the way, like, it made her too close to the sidewalk or something for the road, but it was the only way to situate that house on there with that siren pole and everything. That's what variance is for special situations.
Not for,
Just, I guess I gotta.
Not for, I did it and asked for
$3,500.
forgiveness later.
talk to Crystal first, talk to planning, and that way,
Cause the one who would
Without
deny your
the-
plans.
I mean, without the print, I can't move forward.
That is correct.
But that would be the state that would deny that, but they would advise you, if you'll change this and change that, we could probably approve it. So you're probably still gonna get a yes from them if you go by their guidelines.
Or you could go to somebody with 3 letters outside of Seminole and say, I want an engineered building, and that's part of the package, right?
Right.
That's the easiest thing to do.
We'll give you a stamp plan over there.
oh, I thought the police department was gonna give them a stamp. I'm like,
I'm not delivering the mail.
Yes.
I wanna get it done right the first time.
No, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, we'll give you a stamp plan.
It's the $3,500 that really-
$72,000.
Couldn't figure it out. Yeah, it's, if you really want it, you gotta pay it, right? Gotcha.
Thank you, Dave. Mr. Gaines?
Yeah.
We're done.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Or-
Okay, so resolution 2025-73.
Wait,
We haven't,
We
yeah,
have to do our.
we gotta do our part.
Calm down.
You're fine.
Calm down. Oh my gosh.
No, we didn't.
Nope,
No, we approved the
We approved,
72.
yes.
we're trying to make a motion for 73.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion for resolution, this is my, resolution
Spotty
2025-073, amend special use permit resolution 2024-114 for residential daycare center at 1305 West Carter Avenue.
Okay, a motion and a second to consider this resolution. Yes, ma'am. Go right ahead.
Okay, so the owner of 1305 West Carter and the residential childcare business
Is here.
Rosario. And they're asking for 2 more employees and for 12 registered children, which is an increase. It would be 12 registered children besides the children living in the home. And the employees are meant to cover those 12 children. Yeah, and Mrs. Osorio would be the only participant in this department, as she's the only one who is licensed to be able to do so.
And she's not licensed to be over 6 children over the age of 2, so I don't think her license fulfills the obligation.
Don't you have to have one person per grade too?
I understand, but the simple fact, and then you have, how many square feet of the house?
That is a good
Well, the
question.
thing is, are they using the square feet of the house, or are they using the square feet of what's used for the daycare? That's even less.
Yeah. So either way, if you're already getting this big, you need to reach out, get out.
And I know that's what it states in there, that she needs to be there doing it for 2 years to be able to get into, to get a loan from the bank, to be able to move forward.
That is correct. And it was the interior just for the daycare usage that's being measured.
Now, how is that set up as far as for fire marshal?
So
Oh, there's the blueprints in the right.
Just
It's
the
supposed to be
daycare area?
15 square feet per person is your, how you figure out your load.
So we got 15 feet per square person, and you get 12, 14 people.
More. Well, you got 12 kids plus how many
You have
adults?
to have one
2.
adult per 2 kids, under 2.
well, she didn't say how many under 2 she's trying to do, so.
12 total kids. 12
Plus
kids
she's got
and
2 extra,
adults.
plus her 2 kids, plus there's too many pluses in there. And then you multiply by 15 and you run out of room.
Right now I have 6 kids, and 2 of those are my kids, and 1 is my assistant kid. So the only 3 are the ones that not residents of the house, and there are my neighbors. They're like 3 houses next to my house. So they always just walk to drop in and drop off and pick up the kids. So pretty much, my older daughter, she's in school, but I had to leave that space open for her when she's not at school. So she will, right now she covered 1 of those spots. And my son is 2 years old, he covers another spot. And my assistant that I have right now, her daughter covered 1 of her spots. So pretty much right now, I'm using just 3 spots of those 6 spots with my neighbor's kids. 2 of
Right.
those are their grandma lives there, so their mom drops them off at their grandma's house, and the grandma drops them off to my house. And the other one is also my neighbor, 4 houses next to my house, and he also, the mom was ends to drop off and pick him up. So right now, so far, we haven't had any trouble with parking spot.
Right.
And what I'm asking is to open the space to have another assistant. I'm not trying to get full with the 12 kids, probably 8, so I can cover the payment for the second assistant. Because my focus is to prepare myself so I can do into a Montessori method. I'm trying to do a preschool, Montessori preschool. So in order to do that, I had to do a diploma, and it takes hours to study. And so pretty much what I'm trying to do is to get like maybe 2 more kids to cover the second income for my second employee, so I can have more time for me to focus on my studies. So while I accomplish the 2 years, so I can get the loan from the bank. And I've really been looking for places, but there's not a lot of places in here in Lovington. And there is a place that I really like it, and I'm talking to, it's on sale, and I've been talking to the owner with the possibility that I can do rent to own. And so that's my focus, my goal, like what I'm looking for. I'm not trying to stay in the house, and as Montessori, it requires a lot of space for the kids. So Montessori is most like the kids, they can prepare environment. So pretty much you prepare like the shelves with different stations like cultural life, mathematics, language, practical life. And so for that, I need a lot of space. So for me, it's also a big concern about the space. I don't try to fit all the kids in one small space. And so it gives them the freedom for them to choose and what activities they want to work on it. Montessori is focused to give them independence. So in that young age, the kids can develop their independence, like start like practical life focus on how they can take care of themselves, like pouring and serving meals on themselves, picking up their snacks and giving all those choices. And my main motivation or inspiration is my son. He's 2 years old, and I worked in a Montessori school 14 years ago, and I'm a teacher. But since I tried Montessori, I can never like get rid of my system, and that's something that I want to contribute to my community. And here in Lovington, unfortunately, there's no Montessori schools. I think the closest one is to Midland, and I used to live in Dallas. So I also was thinking like moving back to Dallas, because that's something that I really want for my kids to be in Montessori, and as a teacher, something that I want to do for myself as well. And so I was just looking at the opportunity here in Lovington, something that I can like see in the future, like grow.
Okay. Thank you.
Could we specify the years on this? Like if we granted this, could we specify 2 years instead of,
Well, I think it's a 1 year,
is it a 1 year?
I don't know, that's what I was gonna ask.
Yeah.
I know she's filling in, but isn't our special permits only 1 year and they have to be renewed every year? I'm sorry?
I haven't been trained on that yet.
You don't know.
Okay, I believe they are, because I believe we talked about this about a year ago. I can ask you, you know, aren't they a 1 year, you have to reapply every year
For
for
the
your,
state license, I do every year they come and do the state.
for the city?
Yeah, and for the city, I don't think so. I didn't, last time Crystal didn't mention to that, it was gonna expire, like every year they'll have to do it. I think she said no, but she said, even in the last meeting with the other, commissioners, they mentioned that if they got a lot of complaints with the neighbors, they can just stop it and cancel the permission they are giving me.
Okay, give the commission, I mean, I know you're trying to expand and everything else. Give us an idea of how long you think that would take. Can you do it in the next year?
2 years.
She said 2.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It has to
She
be
didn't
2
say
years.
two.
Right now I have 6 years, with the business, the bank wants like 2 years income, like to see how the business is
Right.
going. So right now I have 6 months with my business. So it'll be like 1.5 years to complete the 2 years.
For some reason, I thought you'd been in operation longer than that.
And Crystal has been very adamant that it's a good contribution to the community, that it will provide very needed services for the community. And we've heard a lot of good things about the business, and that there have been a lot of complaints from the community of not being able to find childcare that's affordable or daycare.
Yeah, I would just like to specify the time frame. You know, that's what I'd like to do on the variance or resolution.
It was, I opened in March this year, so it will be March 27 to complete the 2 years.
I would think if you had to do anything, it'd probably be 2 years, because for her to have
Yeah.
a year and 6 months, and then you're looking at, to find a place, then you're looking at another 6 months. Bank to give a loan and everything else, so you're probably looking at a minimum of 2 years. So,
You might as well say 3, all realistically, because the bank's going on 2 full years. Plus, it'll take you 6 months to find a piece of property,
right,
conversion, and then everything else, so she's 3 years out.
And while I'm waiting for that time period for the bank to approve, I'm still looking for a place to rent. Like, I will be still looking for a place, so I can, like, move before.
Okay.
I think
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Commissioner.
I think you made a point earlier, somebody did, is if we can revoke it at any time, then I don't see no problem, is because if you're not meeting the guidelines, we will revoke it, and you'd have to cease.
And if it's outside the state's guidelines, they'll come in and shut it down, so.
Exactly.
Okay. I know
So
you don't.
needs.
Does anyone here, counselor, I'm gonna ask you, do we know the extent of these special permits?
I have not looked at whether we can limit those for a period of time. Generally, what we do is limit those to a certain property owner, as opposed to a period of
Time
time.
period.
So,
Mhm.
if there's some inclination to do that, and it seems like everybody, the previous board looked at it, Crystal looks at it, gives it a recommendation. I think for everybody's, interest in it and concern, I can answer that question for you. I can't answer it right now. But we can answer that, and if there's not anything that happens between today's meeting and the first meeting in September, that's probably the safest thing to do, because then number one, we can take a look at, are you able to revoke that variance if there's some issue? Obviously, if the state revokes that license to increase, we could do that also, because that need is no longer there, or that use isn't there. But I think it'd give us the opportunity to take a look at, hey, can we stamp it for a 3-year period of time, subject to, and I don't know, has anybody complained about parking issues or driving issues or?
I was gonna say that.
Yeah, I read those, yeah.
Oh, I thought you said complain. No.
Yeah,
you were correct.
I just wanted to make sure, you can't tell us.
My
that
parents
there's-
live right there and they've never said anything,
Yeah, so.
issues.
So that would be my recommendation, is to get it on the next agenda, as long, and then we can answer those questions.
Right.
And then when you vote on it, you're a little bit more intelligent about it, and so, I didn't know that was gonna be an issue. Like I said, we normally tie it to the property owner. But, is there anything that would, prevent you from coming back, let's say, at the next meeting? Is there anything that happens between now and then?
No.
Okay,
I have a waiting list of other neighbors. They will just have to keep him waiting.
okay.
And then we'll go.
But I think that would be the proper way to do, that way you can make an adjustment.
Well, it'll give all of us a chance,
Right,
especially those that are filling in
right.
for other positions, give them a chance to look into it, make a phone call and say, okay, this is the way it is set up, and then this would then amend this for this time period or whatever.
Yeah, I can tell you, I've had a lot of boxes show up at my house with Montessori on the side. It's not the same as hands-on method and approach, but they've all been fantastic, so, at least that sounds like a pretty good program to start with, so, but at least that would give us our answers
Okay.
on can we revoke, and can we limit it to a period of time?
Alright, so we're probably going to amend your,
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, I'd like to amend my, to table this, whatever it is, hang on,
resolution.
resolution until the first meeting in September, which would be September what?
Eight.
Okay.
September
Earliest
8th.
when possible.
Yes, I believe so.
Second. Perfect.
All right, we have a motion and second to table this resolution. Shannon,
To the first meeting.
to the next, yeah.
Yes, Commissioner Gandy,
Yes.
Commissioner Bowe,
Yes.
Mayor Roberts,
Yes.
Commissioner Trujillo,
Yes.
Commissioner White.
Yes.
All right. Commissioner White.
I'd like to make a motion to pay the bills.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and second to approve the accounts payable.
Just get better at it every time, doesn't it?
Yes.
So included in your packets is the expense approval report. The staff continues to try to get you good information, better information. If you have any questions.
So the body and soul fitness,
There is that's been negotiated down. Michelle was in here today talking to Veronica, and Veronica knows more about it, but we had fallen behind, so we got whacked with late charges, but she's adjusted that, and we're gonna,
so this is for
That's an alternately, as opposed to the wellness center benefit, they can choose another gym and get the same.
Okay.
But it's not what you see there, I think.
No, well, that's fine, I was just,
Yeah.
it was something I didn't remember seeing before, so.
That air care med, membership, is that a yearly?
Yes. Arrow care.
There's hotter people there.
You're good, all right, everyone good? All right, I'm sorry, I know.
One thing I wanted to.
Oh, Commissioner Trujillo.
I don't have no question, just
Don't even
one
say
question
good.
towards Ed was just, are we exempt from late fees or we just as regular as everybody else? So we could be charged late fees as well? I just was heard on that last meeting, I was wanting to confirm that. Oh, that's fine.
I think deadbeat is the correct
Yeah.
terminology. Sorry.
Credit cards and all that.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Shannon.
Just checking.
Commissioner White,
Yes.
Commissioner Gandy,
Yeah.
Commissioner Bowe,
Yes.
Mayor Roberts,
Yes.
Commissioner Trujillo.
Okay, before I adjourn us, please stay, you've got to sign all these resolutions that we just.
I'm out of here.
Anyway, with that, the items of the agenda are exhausted, we are adjourned.